Good evening, Sam. This scene set in Washington Square Park, one of Bianca's favorite nighttime strolls, and has a lot of good to-go shops, if you get my meaning. It's usually quiet, and you can take 'em or leave 'em, whichever you prefer for the night. Tonight, she's not sure what she prefers. Something to eat, that's for certain, though. And she's wandered through Washington Square Park, making her way around. Yes, what does she find tonight? That is the question, isn't it? What does she find? Or who, maybe, is the more proper question.
Well, what you might end up encountering is goes by as an elderly individual. He seems to be locking up his car. Hmm. Old Mustang, white. He ends up closing and presses the button. You end up hearing the bleep bleep. And he smiles a bit. It seems to entertain him greatly. As he puts the keys in and looks about. You notice he wears these purple glasses tinted. Adjusts his hat to the wind as he takes his first steps down the walk. It's a bit of a hobble as he leans heavily on that cane. There's just so much time in the night. Smiles greatly, though. Something warm, comforting. After all, elderly old man. Maybe he's just here to get his kicks. Look, why don't you fuckers jump in right now, okay?
Oh, all right, I'll go first since Kurt is having a heart attack. Danielle Delevingne is wandering through the park, except she's obfuscated, using the shadows as more of her assistance as she's looking for food, but she's kind of bored of this nightclub scene as she's not really good at it, so she might as well use her talent somewhere else. She's traipsing through, just encroaching and just coming through the gentle twigs and bars that she's completely invisible to most people, but she just is waiting for someone to unfortunately pass by. She probably sees people walking around. She's just kind of people watch until she finds that right person she wants to, well, snack.
Wait. So Adam's just going to be running through the park, sort of embracing the cold night air. He's wearing his generic hoodie, his sort of jogging bottoms, and a mask over his face. I mean, obviously, with a face like his, he can't exactly afford to go out, and as he's running, he's just thinking about what just went down in the sewers. He feels a lot better, but he should still feed, If anything, it will make him feel better after the events of the last week.
Well, let's see. We'll start with seeing how many people are actually around. It's fairly busy for a park in the middle of the night. Few people here and there. No large groups or anything, but that's what we're working with, people.
So Danielle's going to wait for one to kind of be jogging, and she's going to kind of wait to see if one kind of goes into the woods, that type of thing, kind of goes off the beaten path, and she'll follow them obfuscated and make her pounce. So
Perception alertness.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Oh yeah, 3. I'm assuming I see someone probably going off, right?
There's at least one person jogging through the woods.
She'll approach that person very cautiously, obfuscating and all that. Getting closer and closer.
He looks like a big guy.
She'll freeze then.
Like a hugely big guy.
Yeah, she'll freeze and kind of she'll actually come out of obfuscate and kind of make it look like she's tumbling, like almost like she's falling into the bushes, like definitely making a considerable noise enough for him to hear.
Assuming this is Adam, he's going to suddenly hear something right behind him. He's a little bit jumpy after his encounter with like, woof! And then he sort of just tilts around and gets in a stance, kind of ready to, not outright punch whatever's coming out of there, but he's a little bit cautious.
You just probably hear like a breaking of branches and twigs as you'll hear like this meek, like, ow, help me after falling. This meek, like kitten-like sort of voice.
Probably thinking that this is, kind. Adam's probably against his better instincts. He's so hungry. He's gonna walk towards. He's gonna walk towards the bushes and just offer a hand, ma'am. Hey, may I help you?
Okay, so I'm assuming 2D's going to see this hand, kind of probably coming through. Is it gloved, or is it just like this naked fucking flesh just like comes shooting straight into her like the bushes? That's where she is, or is it? I guess the hand covered.
I mean, it's partially covered by. It's probably just wearing one of those big old, sweat hoodies guys at the gym tend to wear. But I mean, if she looks close enough in the dark, she'll see some naked skin.
She'll take the hand and kind of almost be probably lifted, unexpectedly, woof. As Adam has probably seen this girl from Elysium, in a leather jacket, ripped jeans, long kind of hair. She kind of does a kind of like almost like a frightened sort of like meerkat. She's just kind of like up and like staring at you, kind of like, whoa.
So, as Adam picks her up and kind of just sees a little bit of a face in the moonlight, he instantly, it takes him a second, but he realizes who she is. He sighs for a minute, almost as if he's kind of disappointed she's not a meal. Whoa, don't I recognize you from somewhere? It's dangerous to be in the woods at this time of night.
Yeah, well, I'm just out to eat, just yeah, I'm just out for food. That's all. A guy who, you're. I've seen you before. You were at the Tony's, right?
Yeah. I remember your face. We didn't. It just kind of looks a little awkward. I'm sorry for my family. It wasn't what I expected for my first outing into society.
You notice you're kind of taking a gentle step back from as well, and didn't you lose it a couple of nights ago at Val? Right?
Yeah. Come about a week ago. Adam just looks down towards the path. Come run with me. We can look for something to eat together, and I'll fill you in on all the details.
She kind of just looks at the size of him and is like thinking, how can we stealthily nab food when we've got a lumbering, hunking tank? You know,
Yeah.
she's kind of like trying to judge the practicality of this, and she almost does like an expression, like much like my picture. She kind of just cranes her head up, is almost like she's thinking, "Why don't I stay out on the path and say like my dog or something is like, I'll give an excuse, and then we can lure them in like a trap."
Well, I guess that could work. I'm quite hungry, but you know,
Or
we'll
or
we'll
she kind
find.
of like, how deep is his voice? Is like, has he got a very deep voice, or is it kind of very mismatched, like with his body or something like that?
I'd say, considering he's only got enough of jaw, it's kind of gravelly. I can't quite do the voice,
Oh no,
but if there's,
she seems to wince at your voice,
yeah.
like the probably the volume of it. Or we could well, I could hop on your back like I did with Meinhof, and we could just leave the charge. And she kind of looks very like she wants you to laugh, but she's afraid you're going to like punch her through a tree or something. So she's kind of like, you know, adopting this type of thing.
Adam is just gonna give this horrible dry throat laugh. Well, I've not been told that story before.
She just nods her head. Will you go in there? She points to the clear you into the thicker part of the woods. You go in there, I'll lure people in and we'll feed.
Yeah,
She
sure.
kind of gives you a smile. She just gives you a smile, and she's like, she knows she's definitely like terrified because you're like 5 times the size of her, probably, like both width and height. As she kind of just is kind of like, go on quickly, as she kind of, she kind of goes back to her little kind of bush hiding place.
He just gives her a nod. Well, if you find yourself running into any trouble, just let me know and I'll be there. And
I will.
Adam's just gonna.
She'll nod and sit. She'll actually, what she'll do is she'll walk out as he's going further in, and she'll activate Auspex one, just kind of listen in for any people coming by, or she's just like, kind of seeing for any
As,
people. She'll sit there and wait.
as Danielle does that, Adam's going to be round. I feel like any bushes nearby, like near, like under a bush, or probably, somewhere dark where he can use his cloak of shadows to hide his giant form.
Yes, there are
Yeah.
shadows and bushes and all
Things.
sorts of things.
So yeah, not being completely stupid, Adam's just gonna do that and wait and see what happens.
Well, I guess that means Tootie's gonna have to roll perception alertness, and we'll see how many people that's in her favor. So, see if she can hears anything. Remember your reduced difficulty.
2, I think. It only reduces by 1, doesn't it? Aspects.
If you only have, it reduces it by the number of dots you have.
I have 1 dot, yeah, so 2. So it's only reduced by 1.
Yep. So you have 2 successes. You probably hear a kind of a little bit of a scrapey, thuddy sound, like maybe a cane. You'll probably hear high heels. You'll hear some joggers, that fairly quick padding of feet of people running, jogging, whatever, since you're up there.
She'll pick up some dirt and kind of rub it on her face like that, like she's fallen, and proceed to run into the direction where she can hear canes, high heel clicking, and joggers. Kind of, she just follow that noise basically as she's running.
The cane and high heels are in one direction, and the joggers are in the other.
Shite. Okay. Cane, the guy's too slow, he can't run away. High heels, they'll probably break. She goes after the high heels and Cane as she's running, because she thinks, the slow, or Adam, the slow bird type of thing. So she's like, yeah, if the guy in the cane can't run away, Adam can crush him like a fucking twiglet. So she's just running that way, quite determined.
All right. Well, Bianca is walking in high heels along the path, looking for somebody. She prefers them to be cute, at least. Something that stirs something in her. Does she see anybody other than this old man? No, she doesn't. She sees an old man.
Yeah, well, that old man seems to just be enjoying the night. He's walking along what seems to be branch off into a jogging path. He's not here for food per se. He's here to collect his thoughts, ruminating. It's easy to do it in an office, but you gotta keep limber, gotta keep moving. Otherwise, the joints they tend to rust on you, and it's one of those things you just gotta end up acting a bit younger than you are, and you'll stay young forever. If you end up listening to your doctor.
Well, Bart will see an attractive woman with a leather jacket on, a dress that goes to just above the knees, high heels.
Can't say much for class, he wonders, but starts to look at her a bit closer. Even as he maybe walking by, maybe catch her eye, hovers a smile and a tip of the hat, lady, and just continues to walk.
As you do, she gives you a little nod. Good evening.
Evening, ma'am. Continues walking towards that jogging path, getting out, getting some fresh air.
She does not hear this person about to come bowling through the bushes.
Well, I guess I might as well make a roll just on the off chance. Oh, his body is an old man. Wow. Wow.
You hear somebody running through the bushes towards us. You, me, somebody.
He takes a step and he puts his cane in front, places one hand over the other, straightens out a bit. Almost like he's expecting something, though he's not sure what. Not a defensive position. After all, he's not much of a fighter, but always good to remain proper.
So, will I have to roll like manipulation performance to make myself look convincing and helpless, or is it Dex Athletics?
That would be.
That's a manipulation performance.
I think if you're trying to make us think that you're stumbling through the woods, chasing, running, I'd probably say Dex performance.
Dex performance. That's still 3 dice anyway. So here we go. Oh shit!
All right.
That is a botch.
It is.
Well, as Danielle suddenly comes out of the woods from beside, Bart steps back, but his cane is still on an angle outward before he has a chance to retract it. Danielle ends up stumbling right over it and damn near kicks it out from under him. So let's see.
Falls like that, just kind of like in a rolling position.
Yeah, let's see if Bart can avoid falling just because it amuses me. Let's see. So I got 2 dice. Difficulties up by 1. Hey! So the old man ends up stumbling for a moment.
Up by 1. That's only
Oh, yeah. So
yeah, you're gone.
Yeah, congratulations. You have officially managed to trip an old man. He goes down like a sack of potatoes. Oh, the humanity of it.
Like as Bart tumbles down, Daniel just rolls and probably lands directly in front of Bianca. Like you just see mud all over her face. She kind of does this kind of like cocking of her head. And Bianca, no.
Looks down at you. Running his old man now, are you? And she walks over to help the old man up.
Appreciate it, miss. Mrs.
Miss, there's no marriage involved.
Might be my lucky day then.
I doubt it.
Pleasure. Oh, don't be like that. Thank you very much, ma'am. What kind of young spry little... Oh dear. She's running into all kinds tonight.
She just kind of groans. Oh, hi, Mr. Blanchet.
No, why would you go and do a fool thing like that?
Well, she kind of just looks very embarrassed then. She's getting up, kind of dusting her leather jacket off and just like looking at the two of you, kind of like rubbing her hand to the back of her head. It's just like, I thought you were food. Yeah, there's yeah.
Bianca pulls a rag out of her purse, walks up and starts wiping the mud off of your face. Oh, my dear, you look atrocious with all that mud on you. You know, it's a lot easier to lure men when you look pretty, like normal.
Well, when you have the Incredible Hulk, you're trying to lure in food for the Incredible Hulk. It's a bit hard, you know.
Oh, is he around?
She nods her head.
What was the name? Fitzpatrick?
Oh, you've met our dear friend. I take it that you're part of the club then.
Judy just nods as well. Oh, she really is.
Oh, yes, I remember. I think I've heard about you, my dear.
I hope good things.
Well, I've only really heard one thing about you, and that's who your sire is.
Oh, well, I would hope that I'd be able to be taken on my own merits, but I guess that suffices it to start off introductions. Pardon the rudeness. Bartholomew Blanchet. At your service, ma'am. Now, you said, dear Daniel, that Mr. Fitzpatrick is here. I think I'm gonna go see him.
She just kind of gives you a smile. He's somewhere, all right.
If you will excuse me, then. With that, Bartholomew starts to make his way into the woods. He straightens himself out after dusting himself off. Seems to have... He checks the old pocket watch. Still ticking. He starts to walk into the woods. Oh, Mr. Fitzpatrick, won't you please make yourself known? If it's all right, I'd like to speak with you.
Adam's probably just gonna be using his obfuscate for a second. After the events of the night, Adam's very reluctant to really speak to anyone.
Mr. Fitzpatrick, I am aware that you are probably here. You're not gonna leave an old man waiting, would you? Be all considered awfully rude.
As he says that, Adam's gonna just break out of obfuscate. His face is still hidden, but you can guess what's beneath. He just kind of tries to make it look natural, like he's been running and he's just sort of literally passed through a bush and gone through the undergrowth. Yes.
Mr. Fitzpatrick, I don't believe I've had the... And maybe you can see it, maybe not, that he has an occasional bit to avert his eyes from you. On occasion, maybe looking you up and down.
Well,
And name's Bartholomew Blanchet.
well,
Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
I'd introduce myself, but it seems like you already know who I am.
But I'd like to end up standing on some degree of ceremony. Just because I know what you look like doesn't mean that I can't treat you like a human being once in a while. I can offer you
Well,
that courtesy.
well, I assume you're a member of the club then. Have you seen... And kind of just looks off to the into the distance. Have you seen anyone else? Any of our kind out here?
Oh, yes, of course. I've run into Miss Delavine. More accurately, she ran into me.
Well, seems fairly common around here these nights. Is
Well,
perhaps we could walk back towards them, and you could tell me a little bit about yourself.
Bartholomew remains silent for a moment. He just starts to step to the side and offer Mr. Fitzpatrick a chance to start walking.
Adam at first thinks of offering Bartholomew a hand and then thinks better of it. Instead, he just sort of starts walking back towards the jogging trail.
Appreciate it. Now, if you don't mind me asking, Mr. Fitzpatrick, what is it that brings you out this night? I'm under the impression that your kind have this tendency to, how do I put this politely, keep underground. Is that true?
Well, it does me good to get out sometimes, feel fresh air again, feel the fresh air on my face again. It does get so down in the sewers. I'm sure a man of your taste would agree.
A man of my tastes. That's funny.
Well,
I appreciate the comedy, Mr. Fitzpatrick. It is very amusing.
well, if I may speak plainly, what's a man like yourself doing out here? No, we wouldn't want an old fella like you to get hurt. He kind of just teases a bit.
Might want to be careful with those words, Mr. Fitzpatrick. If I wasn't a man of good humor, I might end up misinterpreting that as some sort of threat.
Well, no, not at all. But as you said yourself, the members of my family don't get to socialize much.
So we should end up taking these moments as something to be treasured, now shouldn't we?
Indeed, May. Since obviously you know about me, perhaps you could tell me at least to which family you belong. Oh, is that something I'll find out?
He stops. Turns to the young Fitzpatrick, the gigantic Fitzpatrick. Looks up. Allow me to reintroduce myself. Bartholomew Blanchet, child of Anton Dulac, child of such and such and such and such. You know, you wouldn't know the names, but an adventure.
It's a pleasure to meet you. I suppose we should catch up with the others.
Yes, we should. However, I will admit, a man of your stature, I wouldn't have expected to have been so polite and well-spoken. I guess that is something to be said about assumptions. After all, I'm not usually one to hang on to them myself.
Well, you know. Well, I like to surprise people.
I bet you do. Tell me, sir, are you currently employed?
Well, I guess you could say so. I've been learning the ropes of the city.
Learning the ropes, always a good thing. Who's been teaching you?
My clanmates, of course, myself.
Self-made man, I can respect that. Your clanmates, well, although let me look around. I find myself constantly trying to gain other perspectives. Mr. Fitzpatrick, I'm a man who wants to understand how these young'uns are all doing. And, well, you might have, well, to hear it from another clan, I would like to know, what do you think of the individual you're currently standing beside?
And I will just look him over. Well, if there's one thing my family knows, it's not to judge on superficial appearance. But you did look like. I apologize. You did look like dinner a few minutes ago.
I guess everybody does when you're this side of the ropes. Still, always good to be careful. Wouldn't want any breach of old traditions now, would we? Might end up ending badly for you, and I don't want that. Not for you, young man. Not for you.
Well, you have no need to worry. I've already learnt my lessons.
No, stop right there. No need to worry is what others would do. My job is to perpetually worry. That's kind of a thing about my particular family. We worry about everything. It's one of the reasons why we try and end up helping out wherever we can, because, well, young men and women such as yourself, or maybe not so young, but you definitely came across as young when you stepped in front of the big cheese. Well, when you end up doing that, there's certain things that need to be taken care of at all times, and, well, just so you can sleep soundly wherever it is that you call home. And that job usually ends up falling to someone like me. So when you tell me not to worry, understand that what you might be telling me to do is not to do my job. And how good would things be if we all just decide to up and quit our responsibilities?
Well, I've already been well instructed, but I appreciate your concern. I'm learning how to handle myself, but advice from other perspectives is always appreciated.
Please go on.
So, it just kind of pauses for a second. Well, sometimes when you're training, you need a couple of people to look at you to see how your performance is doing. So, how do you think I did with the big cheese last night, as you put it?
I personally end up believing that you've ended up, well, how do I put this politely? You didn't play to your strengths, so to speak. You've ended up having this moment where you could show yourself to be strong, reliable, true force to be reckoned with, and instead you gave yourself to at least appear to be a child. And I think that does a grave disservice to you, Mr. Fitzpatrick. I think you're somebody who should be taken very seriously. And I'd like it to be taken seriously for the right reasons. Because I'm told so many could be taken seriously for the wrong reasons. And I do apologize that that may not be strictly a grand thing for you, but I would love to end up making sure that everything stays hunky-dory, as it were. Do me a courtesy, would you, and just try and end up getting in contact with me later on. Maybe we can discuss it in detail when we're not about to discuss such things in, well, small circles. Speaking of which, there they are.
Yeah, no, I'll take on your notes, and I'll see what I can do.
Meanwhile, Bianca and Tootie. Well, he's quite a catch, isn't he?
She just kind of gives Bianca a sideways glance. Oh yeah. Old age does that.
Not quite the meal you'd anticipated.
Well, I was thinking in terms of Adam. If he has a cane, he can't get away. And I heard high heels, so I thought she might be pretty.
Oh, well, I'd like to pretend that I am. One of these days, I might actually be, too.
Yeah. She kind of just looks down, like, yeah. So why are you out here?
I'm out here doing what I'm always doing, my dear, looking for food. Haven't decided on what, though. I know there's a little Chinese deli across the street. Around the corner down there.
That might be nice. I could use some Chinese.
It's been far too long.
Anything going on with you? Or
I saw Val tonight. I heard about what happened at the club the other night. After Elysium.
Yeah. She kind of just rubs her arm. Yeah, I heard too. In fact, she kind of leans in. Dulac was the one who was laughing at her the most, and then you know who Bard is, right?
That gentleman we just met. Well, I just met. I've heard about him. Who was it that mentioned? I think it was you that mentioned him, actually.
She nods her head. Well, yeah, so he seemed to be taking the most enjoyment out of it.
How come I'm not surprised?
He's a different type of snake, though. I keep an eye on him.
Well, I try and keep my eye on all the snakes. Just not too close, lest they bite.
So, you doing anything else, or?
I'm looking for information right now. Trying to figure out how to get in contact with somebody.
She takes a step in. Oh?
Yeah, her name's Madison Thompson. I don't know, probably never heard of it yourself, but...
She shakes her head. Why is she so important?
Out of character, 2D has eidetic memory, correct?
Yep.
Then you would recognize that name because it's the woman who had
Oh,
her cancer
yeah.
healed?
Yeah. Judy she nods, almost kind of like she's looking over. Like she's looking into the bushes or something. And she kind of steps right beside you, like it's almost like you're like wiping something off her face or something. That's the one in the newspapers, right?
Oh, you
cancer
have
cure.
it. Yes.
She just turns slowly and looks at you. Victor was mentioning it before, and I read it in the papers.
I have my fingers out getting the information on how to get in contact with her, so I can get in contact with this Marcus fellow.
You want any help? I would be interested in looking into that.
Well, once I get the information on where to meet him, having somebody with me wouldn't be a bad idea, especially somebody who can help keep an eye on things and not necessarily be noticed.
She nods, and I can do that. There's something weird with the water in the park.
Oh, like what?
I put my hand in it and it burnt me, but she lifts up her hand and she kind of looks at it, color came back. Like it was alive again. I could feel my heart beating.
You see almost a smile of disbelief on Bianca's face. Really?
She takes her hands quite seriously. You notice there's a definite. It was too quiet in there, like deathly quiet.
Of course,
It
it's
was
too
like
quiet.
something. It was like something was watching me.
Out in the woods, you never know who's out there. Especially since you know who got away. We don't know if they have people out there watching.
Well, I got some water samples and I'm gonna give them to Victor and take one for myself. But it's too quiet out there, Bianca. There's something wrong.
I'll keep that in mind.
We're gonna see what we turn up, and then if you want, you can help us out with it if you need to. You might need some extra bit of, she kind of just looks you up and down, muscle.
Of course, my dear. Don't worry, I'll wear appropriate shoes for the woods.
It's not that bad out there. It's just quiet. It's eerie.
Yes, and she kind of picks up one high heel and kind of glances back at it. These get stuck in mud, though.
She just smiles at that. That's why she kind of gestures down at her boots. That's why you wear these. They're handier.
That would imply that I plan on leaving the path. Right now, my plan is to stay on the path.
You looking for food? Because I'm hungry. She kind of just gives you a smile.
I am, and she's gonna look around, and she does see somebody. Is it one or two somebodies? Just one. Well, there's somebody. Not the prettiest thing I've ever seen.
I am hungry though. She's kind of just tensing a bit. Like she would love to just run over there. How are we gonna do this?
How would you like to do it, my dear? Do you want me to distract her and you pounce? Like the wild cat that you are.
She looks at her kind of like, gesturing down at herself, like, oh yeah, I'm such a wild cat. Kind of glance, but like.
I found some pictures. I was going through some of my dear's photos, and she actually does have some of you quite stunning from when you were modeling.
Oh, she seems to shrivel.
Oh,
You
yes.
do?
I'd be happy to share them with you if you want to see them.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. She kind of is like looking at you like, how the fuck do you have them? Yeah. Yeah.
I'll go distract the girl you play. Come and get me then.
Okay. She kind of just is looking at you quite oddly. Like she's completely flustered. You can tell like she's rubbing her hair. She's like taking a couple of steps off the path and it's going to obfuscate once there's a darkened place and she's getting ready to pounce like a little cat basically.
Bianca walks over to this person. Are they male or female? Do you have a preference?
She didn't give a shit. She's not.
They're male then. Excuse me, sir. I was wondering, have you seen a little dog running through here? A sweet little thing. Goes by the name, I call it 2D. She's adorable.
No. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm kind of running late. Gotta get home before wife gets into bed. He seems to be.
Oh, come now, you can help me look for at least a moment. I think she went off into those bushes over there, but with these heels, I just can't go into the woods after her. Please,
What's the roll?
dear. That's manipulation. Anything.
Manipulation, anything.
Empathy.
Manipulation, science.
Manipulation, empathy. They're all the same.
Yeah, I
Just
guess.
one moment. she responds quite well. You probably have to look down low for her, though. She's fairly small.
Too deep. You coming? He just kind of starts walking
She's
into
following
the
him
woods.
towards the woods. She stands at the edge of the path.
Tootie. Here you go.
Obfuscated Tootie is doing her best not to laugh as she's coming up closer and closer and closer.
Here you go.
Is this Dex Brawl I have to make?
It is a girl, right?
Yes, girl. She's sweet. It's a little thing. Brown hair. Kind of blends in. Look under the bushes.
He starts leaning in. It's like,
Yes,
looking
it's
for
Dex Brawl,
bitches on the call the bitches. I don't understand this.
I think with Obfuscate you get extra dice.
Oh, I do. Yeah, I do because I'm coming out of Obfuscate after roll again. I think it's 2, isn't it?
You just click on it and add 2 dice to it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, thank God, I got a success. The other roll was much better, but I'm assuming she just pounces like out of Obfuscate onto like hitting there.
Okay, so average individual
4
has
dice.
no, because of the average strength, and not everybody has any formal training in fighting.
No,
So
2.
3.
So it would just be 2 with the difficulty 7 at this
Okay.
point. I don't. On the whole, I know a lot of people who talk a tough game, but very few are actually formally trained. It's not something that most guys actually know. I should know. I've lived in a bad neighborhood for that. However, for 2D, that might.
She gets flung off, basically. She like plonks probably down on the ground.
What the fuck was that? You crazy bitch!
She kind of is like, in that split second, she just looks at him and she's just gonna go stop and say she's gonna use dominate. So that's 2 dice for 2D.
But it's a kind, so
Automatically succeeds.
She fails. Oh, automatically succeeds. Okay.
Yeah.
She's gonna go stop.
I can't resist it.
and he seems to
As like
stop everything he's doing. He's just kind of standing in place. But his eyes are a little frantic. He's not sure what's going on here.
as she's just gonna gently walk up to him and just like touch his face and then just right in the neck and just like kiss him. So basically like pulling him down with her into the bushes and making it look like it's sweet, sweet love, that type of thing.
Well, as soon as you give the kiss, as it were, well, we know how that typically ends up kicking off with a wonderful bit of euphoria. With that, cocaine's a hell of a drug, kids.
She'll take 2 blood points off him and lick the wound and just gently whisper into his ear, "That felt great, thank you." She just gently like taps his face very affectionately and just kind of gets up and is walking towards Bianca like that way. Leave. You know?
And it says they're walking away from this scene that 2 gentlemen come back out the path.
Well, that's typically how it's done, I guess. Bartholomew's kind of has an eyebrow raised behind those purple-tinted glasses.
Well, it seems so. What am I seeing as I'm sort of walking down this path?
You'll see Bianca and Tootie walking at a slightly faster than average pace.
Probably 2D with a panic look. Go, 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 go!
Miss Cassidy, Miss Delavine. I assume you've already found dinner. Chuckles to himself a bit.
Mr. Fitzpatrick, it's a pleasure to see you again.
It's nice to see you too. I had the I had the surprise of meeting Mr. Bonshire in the woods over there.
Ponchay. Judy
Bonshire.
says to Adam, whispering, attempting to whisper, but there's no point, and she's like, fucking towers over. So he's just like, Ponchay.
Sorry, I didn't take French in high school.
It's quite all right, monsieur.
We should just move up the path a bit. She's kind of gesturing. She's kind of like trying to herd you guys. You know, come on this way. You know, she's like, we should just move up the path a bit. Come on.
Is everything all right?
Yeah, no, everything's fine. It's just that I don't want him to wake up because I've probably given him the best orgasm of his life, and he's gonna follow me. So come on. And she's kind of pushing you guys.
Girl has needs, you know. Gotta let her indulge it.
Bartholomew just stands for a moment and looks down the path to where this individual has been left. Good to know. Waste not, want not.
He's covered in the bushes, and he thinks he just got the best lay of his life. So she just gives herself a smile.
Well, suppose that'll happen. Come on, Adam.
She kind of looks to Bianca like you're basically you're up next, you know, type of look.
Yes, the girl had needs, so we made sure she was sighted. I'm personally gonna go for Chinese after this.
Perhaps we can go to. Perhaps all four of us can do it, right? You know, get some takeout.
Well, maybe. He glances between them. Well, maybe we could make a little competition out of this. I've not fed in quite some time, and I don't get out much. I'd enjoy the diversion.
Okay, so it's me and Bianca. She links your arm with hers. It's me and Bianca versus you and Mr. Bonchet. It's like she just starts leading Bianca off towards the Chinese as she winks at the two of you.
Calm down. I'm not here to end up playing children's games. Mr. Fitzpatrick needs to be sated. Fine. I'll end up helping it, just end up making sure things run smoothly. After all, I hate to end up seeing little wisecracks end up slipping out. Mr. Fitzpatrick, would you be kind enough to step to the back alley behind the restaurant? Right by the dumpsters would be fine. Just wait there a few moments.
Much obliged. He just gives a little nod and he'll just walk off.
Judy, as she's leading Bianca away, whispers into her, "We're not losing to the angel of death. Do you hear me?" She says in this kind of like suddenly very authoritative tone.
The angel of death. I don't know that I'd have ever given him that much credit.
She just kind of smiles to herself as she's remembered she's just talked to Bianca in this like very like demanding tone. She kind of meekly looks down and kind of goes, "Okay, let's do this." And she's just kind of walking.
All right, so up to the market outside. Bianca uses some of those greetings she's learned over the last 10 years from working with and around Oboro, and uses that to get her way in, convince a couple of people to give them a moment, if possible, of their time to help us check for a dog. His name's Teddy. He's missing. We think he ran into the alleyway. Right over here, my dear.
He's so little. It's Judy kind of just like does this with her face. I'm gonna have to roll that.
Oh, you're gonna. All right, you're doing this just outside the restaurant.
Oh, Judy, for fuck's sake! Judy failed. She probably doesn't look as upset as Bianca probably does.
Yeah. While they're doing that, Bartholomew is going up to the counter. He ends up pulling out a small $5 bill, places it down on the counter, and asks for a bottled water. And inevitably pulls out a handkerchief, such, not really a handkerchief, napkin, as it were. Wipes his mouth, hucks it in the trash, and proceeds to ends up making small talk. In the middle of that small talk, he ends up making the claim that tonight he needs to take out the trash. And, well, wow. You said it's auto success?
Unless you roll, in which case you go with your roll.
Well, the person doesn't seem to mind all that much. Bartholomew seems a little frustrated at this point. Like, what the heck? Usually works. But he continues to end up making small talk and ends up taking hold of the bottle, and by the end he looks to, there's usually 2 people on cleanup on shift. I don't think that would change much. Yeah, he'll try again with the next individual. This time the command, as it were, he ends up saying on how he ended up spending some time when he was in Australia. Now he's got to go back to the outback, or go out back. If, as a cruel pun, go out back to the outback, which has a lot better success than the last time. What seems like a kind pun, eventually, that individual just seems to, maybe he forgot something. He feels this compulsion to actually go out the back. And, well, seems like a cook or something like that might be going out to the back to Mr. Fitzpatrick.
Meanwhile, Bianca and 2D convinced our 2 people to help us.
Mainly through Bianca, not 2D.
Yes, Bianca. And she's going to be very friendly. At least one of them is very receptive. She's spending blood.
Roll the same for 2D for the other gentleman. Oh, yes. Finally. Someone. See, the other gentleman seems to respond to 2D very well as she tries to mimic Bianca's behavior, which is appearance subterfuge.
And she gets them in close really quick, wanting to whisper in their ear, and uses that as a moment to sink her teeth into the woman's neck in the shadows of this alleyway, taking 2 points, making up for one of the ones she just spent.
2D will do the same, taking another 2 points to the other person, woman or man. She doesn't really care.
And then these people will then be... Bianca will wait around until she comes back to and act like she just fainted or something. Make sure she's okay. Act like she's checking on her. That sort of thing.
2D will reciprocate. Just, be very gentle and, you should go get yourself to a hospital and all that. And kind of act very concerned with Bianca beside her.
Meanwhile, there's an individual who has gone outside the back of the restaurant. Mr. Fitzpatrick, you may see such an individual, almost like Bart has set something up for you.
Well, ironically, as Bartholomew orders the chef to go to the outback, the man probably feels something crash against him, rather akin to a kangaroo punching someone in the face as he grabs this man and tries to bite into his neck. And that's a strength roll.
You got it.
Do I get an obfuscate bonus along with my
Yes, you
potions?
do.
Yep.
Is that just my obfuscate?
Obfuscate, you get 2 for being obfuscated, and you get however much your potence is as well.
Oh, fuck me. Okay. All right, let me just work this out. Oh my god, okay. So, it's a DC.
Has anybody seen who accosted this man?
So still
3.
promptly 3 successes. I assume it's a DC 8. DC6, right?
It's a DC 6.
Yeah, that's fine. Even with his gold bite, Adam manages to quite successfully, as the man walks out, he waits for the man to wander towards the dumpster, and then Adam sort of comes out from where he's been hiding in the dumpster, and then just quickly and efficiently he uses his massive strength and just pulls the man in, using the man's own weight to drag him down further into his arms, and then he bites into him before the man has a chance to realize what's happening, taking 2 points of blood.
Adam may, after a moment of... Now, out of curiosity, Adam, are you at hunger score right now? Long story short, your willpower -7 should end up... Or
No, 7 minus your
7 minus your willpower. Self-control, there we go.
Well,
No,
I
he
know
said
what
earlier.
I know what I meant.
Well, earlier
Yeah.
he said his hunger score is 3. And
well,
he's
I'm not quite sure after my cursing ended, but I've been playing it as if
you
I was
had to have had
basically-
at least 1 to be conscious, and you took 3.
Hmm.
So that would put you at 4, which is above your hunger score.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're hungry, but you're
That's
good.
the bare minimum. You may still be hungry,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not an overwhelming urge.
First.
Urge.
Yeah.
Then, Mr. Fitzpatrick, you may notice after a while the dumpster cracks open just a bit, maybe threatening to avail your position in this ghastly act that you are proceeding to envelop upon this poor individual who you have accosted. Suddenly a water bottle ends up landing right beside you as it closes.
So, Adam's just very quickly gonna lick the wound clean, and then he's just gonna kind of just look out of it. He's just gonna probably try and peek out of the dumpster. Just to
There's
see
an
if it's...
old man waiting on the other side.
Okay, so Adam will just quickly clean himself up, and then he'll just say, "Not yet opening the dumpster." Much obliged. I feel much better. Is the coast clear?
Looks clear. Now, Mr. Fitzpatrick, I need to be off, but do feel free to look me up. I don't mind helping out small mates. We'll call this one freebie, as it were.
Well, I have a couple of things in mind which you might be interested in. It was a pleasure to meet you.
We'll talk later this evening. Meet me out Southern Docks, just at the north side of New Salem Bay. I won't be hard to find, and it's not secluded, which should make things a little less paranoid for you. Till then,
Wow.
he taps on the dumpster with his cane and starts to marble off.
As he's about to articulate something else, Bart walks off, so Adam would just and then just quietly dispose of the body, make it look like this poor man's passed out or whatever it takes. And then, yep, that's pretty much what he'd do.
Well, I suppose if Bianca and Tootie have nothing else to talk about at the moment,
Nope.
they make sure these two people get back to where they're going, or at least conscious and somewhat mentally stable after the kiss and that haziness that comes over them, that the scene will end.